Hello, and welcome to Helping Leaders Achieve What Matters. Today, I'm so excited to introduce you to our speaker, our Vistage expert speaker, Michael Brody-Waite. And the title of his workshop is Great Leaders Are Like Drug Addicts. Now, if that doesn't have your attention, wait till you hear the lessons that Mike has to share. Mike is a former drug addict that went clean and created a company that became an Inc. 500 company. And his one big thing about how we as CEOs and leaders are like drug addicts is going to blow you away. Welcome to Helping Leaders Achieve What Matters. Hello, my name is Mark Taylor, and I'm a master chair for Vistage in New York City. With me today is Michael Brody-Waite. He's a Vistage speaker. And Michael, what do you talk about?
The title of my program is called Great Leaders Live Like Drug Addicts, which usually leaves a lot of people's heads scratching. But that's that. I talk about exploring the intersection between drug addiction and leadership.
Wow, that is a provocative topic. How did you come to create that topic? Tell us a little bit about you.
Sure, by uniquely qualifying for both. So, um, at the age of 23, I was hopelessly addicted to alcohol and drugs. Every day for me, from the minute I woke up to the minute I passed out at night, was steal money, score drugs, get high, stay high, do terrible things that I'll regret or maybe not remember, and then wake up the next day and do it all again. And by the age of 23, I've been kicked out of college, fired from my job, evicted from my home. My car was repossessed. The only money I had was what I could steal from my friends, and I was throwing up blood. And so I did not believe I would live to see my 25th birthday, let alone my 30th or 40th. And I don't say that, I don't share that stuff to depress people, but just to say I know what it's like to be a drug addict. And what I know is in leadership, we talk a lot about leading other people, but it's really hard to lead other people when you can't lead yourself. And I was leading myself to an early grave. But I also have experience with leadership. So my clean date, September 1st, 2002. The first 8 years of my recovery, I learned how to practice three principles that they told me if I didn't master them, I would die. And that was to practice rigorous authenticity, surrender the outcome, and do uncomfortable work. And I learned those not just to save my life, but what I didn't realize is I was learning a self-leadership system that's actually used all over the world, but usually to help drug addicts lead themselves out of addiction. So I use that self-leadership system. I now have 20 years clean. And I went from, a temporary rep at a kiosk in a mall for a Fortune 50 company to 8 years clean, being a corporate manager with no college degree at that same Fortune 50 company with a $250 million P&L. Then at the height of the recession in the US in 2009, 2010, I left that job, started my own company, founded a software company called Quicker, built that company, used this process that I learned to save my life to teach my people how to lead themselves, and turned that into an Inc. 500 business without taking any outside funding and selling to a publicly traded company in 2015. Then I took over a nonprofit where I helped 2,000 entrepreneurs a year start or grow a business. And that's when I did the TED Talk, and the TED Talk has led to everything ever since. So that's my background with those areas.
That's an amazing story, and congratulations on 20 plus years of being clean.
Thanks, man. One day at a time. One day at a time.
Yeah, that's inspiration. What do you hope that CEOs and key executives will walk away from after participating in your workshop?
So if they walk away with nothing, I mean, they are going to walk away with a specific action plan that they can implement in 30 seconds or less every day. But honestly, if they don't do that, I just want to expose a problem that I think we're all talking about, but we don't realize what the solutions are. Um, Being a recovering addict, me and my team that are recovering addicts, we have a unique view, looking at some of the common problems in leadership. So when we look at leadership, we see a lot of similarities between leadership and drug addicts. So if no one gets anything other than this, I want them to be able to nod their head when I say the following. Drug addicts say yes to the wrong things and it kills them because those wrong things are drugs, right? But leaders say yes to the wrong things and it kills their great leadership. They say yes to low value tasks or projects. They say yes to unrealistic expectations, to unnecessary meetings, to distracting opportunities. They say yes to suboptimal performance from an employee, a partner, even a customer. And most of us in leadership are talking about those problems. And I believe we are treating the symptoms. But through our lens of addictive leadership, we see everything through the lens of addiction. And so when we see people doing those things, we see leaders investing in fancy trainings so that people will say no, focus, and have the difficult conversations and perform. And then people don't. And so if nothing else, I want them to walk away and be able to see the problem. And that is, I believe that people are addicted to comfort in leadership. And specifically, they are addicted to saying yes, because that's how we are trained. And they end up saying yes to the wrong things instead of saying yes to the right things. If nothing else, I want them to see that problem. And we have a process that we go through to identify how that manifests in 32 different ways and to see it very clearly. So we have a saying in recovery: even if you relapse and you want to go get high again, you can't get high on a head full of recovery without some regret, because you know there's a solution and you know what the problem is. I want leaders to be able to see these common problems through a new lens, through the lens of addiction, and to be able to not unsee that problem.
Wow. I think that would be amazing. I'm looking forward to it. Is there anything else that you would like to say?
I would say that, the experience that we're going to go through in your Vistage meeting is, I've been through workshops and stuff where I got a bunch of nebulous concepts, or I got a lot of inspiration. But as a recovering drug addict and an entrepreneur, I need to take the theoretical and make it practical for it to be implemented and maintained. So what we are going to do is we're going to go through an experience that we've been designing for the last 10 years. It's modeled off of what we all went through in rehab. And so, I don't really want your members to see this now, because I don't want them to know that they're going to rehab, but we've designed this experience to be based off of that. And basically the first thing is understanding that we have a problem where we're addicted to comfortable work, and then being able to look at it through two different lenses: the EQ soft skill lens, but also the hardcore business quantitative lens. Because in my experience, there's a lot of people that will do like soft skills conversations and trainings, and there's people that will do hard skills conversations and trainings. And we really try to bridge the gap between the two. And I didn't experience that anywhere better than when I went to rehab. So that's the experience I was signing up for.
I can't wait to do it. I think that's an important message. I know that I fall victim to that. So I'm personally looking forward to learning how I can say no more often.
Awesome. Hopefully you don't say no to me speaking to your group, because that would be an
No
unintended
way.
consequence of this
Yeah.
process.
No, we're looking forward to it. Thank you very much.
Thanks, dude.